time I film TBR videos, I feel like I should have like an excited account because I say the word excited so many times, and I want to apologize in advance because I will say it more and more and probably more times in this video. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss any of my uploads. On my channel, I love reviewing, recommending, and vlogging all the things I love about reading books. So if that's of interest to you, don't be afraid to join our little bookish community here on Any Endings. As you can tell by the title of today's video, I'm going to be sharing you all the books that I plan to read in July on my July TBR list. I'm trying to encapsulate all the summer vibes here in my summer TBR list in July, but I am participating in some readathons that may mix up the list a little bit. I have some middle grade, I have some mysteries, I have some fantasy as always, so it's definitely gonna be an interesting July TBR indeed. However, we're here for the ride and it's all vibes from here. As always, all the links to the books that I mentioned will be in the description box, along with all the links to connect with me and my Patreon as well. I thank you all so much for watching this video, and without further ado, let's talk and reach many Any Endings. I miss filming monthly TBRs so much. I love talking and discussing with you all my plans for the reading month, all the books I plan to read in a month, and just talk about books, period. But I'm particularly excited for the month of July and my TBR for July because I have so many good books that I've been dying to read over the course of so many months now. And along with the monthly 24-hour readathons that I co-host with Jaleesa, Mel, and Kristin, I'm also going to be participating in Summerween, which is a readathon hosted by Liv from Olivia Reads a Latte and Gabby, and I'm so freaking excited to participate and read all the horror, paranormal, scary books in the month of July. I think that's such a dope concept. So yeah, let me just share the list of books that I plan to read with y'all. First book that I want to share with you all on my July TBR is a book that I've been wanting to read for the longest time. I'm so sad I couldn't get an arc of it. If you know me, you know that I love the Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson, and if you didn't know or haven't heard of that book or series, it's a YA mystery that follows a girl who ultimately solves the longest, outstanding, most famous case at the school that she attends. And now in this book, The Box in the Woods, we follow that same main character and her group of friends at a summer camp whose director reached out to her because they also have a mystery that they want to solve revolving a murder that happened at the summer camp. If that summary doesn't draw you in, I don't know how to, because I thought that was such a dope concept and it's such a perfect time to read this. It's summer camp, but also mystery. Yes, I love it. I've already heard so many great things about The Box in the Woods and I'm super excited to get into it myself. I'm excited to see Stevie and her group of friends again. They're so loyal to each other. They're so smart. They're so cunning and they're so unique in their own ways, which is why I absolutely love the cast of characters in the Truly Devious series, and the fact that they're in this new upcoming series in a different setting, I'm super down for. Honestly, I may just read this right after I stop filming and editing this because I so am excited to read this book. Every time I film TBR videos, I feel like I should have like an excited account because I say the word excited so many times, and I want to apologize in advance because I will say it more and more and probably more times in this video. But okay, the next book that I have to share is also a book that I've been wanting to read forever. Well, technically I already read it, but I read it so many years ago and I didn't enjoy it because I feel like at the time I wasn't mature or I wasn't reading as many books like these for me to enjoy it or like it. But that book is The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. Like I said, I read this a few years ago, and at the time I was younger and I wasn't reading books that dealt with time travel or like sci-fi or multiple cast of characters like that. So I feel like at the time it wasn't great for me, but now this stuff, I eat it up all day long. This world in the modern day, magicians are almost basically extinct. However, there are some that do still exist. Of course, one of the magicians that still exists is not only a magician, but also a thief, and a master thief at that, where she's able to travel across time and also steal magical artifacts to manipulate time itself. I thought that concept was so dope when I revisited this book while I was packing all my books away. If you didn't know, I'm also currently moving, which is why my shelves look a little bit cleaner if you've been here for a while. But yeah, she's stealing all these magical artifacts as an attempt to reverse doomsday that's upcoming, and I just really am excited to revisit this book because I also have book 2 and book 3, which is on my shelves, is The Serpent's Curse, and that came out this year. So I have the entire series, so I really hope that I like this when I reread. If you're looking for more magical books such as The Last Magician, you might also want to check out The Cruel Mercy by Natalie May. The Cruelest Mercy is actually book 2 in the Kinder Poison series. I read book 1, which is the Kinder Poison series, in the 24-hour readathon. If you haven't seen that vlog yet, you can check up here and in the description box. But I ultimately and absolutely loved that book when I read it. It's her debut novel, and I was so surprised that I was drawn in so much. It has a pretty heavy subplot romance that I actually care for, and if you're new here, I don't typically care for romances. I don't actually like romances in books, but for some reason I really enjoyed that book. It is definitely fast-paced, it is kind of insta-lovey, but I enjoyed the experience nonetheless, and I'm really excited to follow that relationship and see the adventure that they are both going on in The Cruelest Mercy, because not only is there a subplot romance, there's also some sibling rivalry within a royal court. So all that stuff I definitely eat up. I don't want to spoil anything in the Kinder Poison, but in the synopsis of The Cruelest Mercy, I feel like there's much more war, scheming, calculating, things that are going on in the background. Basically a lot more politics, which I'm super into. So I'm definitely excited to get this done in July and read it and further my thoughts on it, I guess. You know your girl cannot get enough magic, enough fantasy in her life. So the next book I'm also super excited to read, and this is actually going to be a buddy read between me, Jaleesa, and Mel, and Kristin, because we're going to be reading Gideon the Knight, which is a book I've been wanting to read for the longest time. I mean, for real, let me just read you this. Gideon the Knight unveils a solar system of swordsplay, cutthroat politics, and lesbian necromancers. Yes, lesbian necromancers. Honestly, after I heard that, I just immediately needed to read it. So here we are. Super excited for this buddy read, and that's that on that. I have such high expectations of this book, and I know those expectations are going to be superseded, so I'm just prepared to be blown away. But speaking of Gideon the Knight, not only is this going to be a buddy read of ours, I'm also counting this as one of the books that I plan to read for Summerween, which is a readathon hosted by Gabby and Liv, and I'm super excited to participate. It's basically Halloween and summer, and who doesn't love that? But this is going to count as my book with Halloween colors on it, and yes, it has Halloween colors on it, so that's that on that. Killing two birds with one stone, y'all. The other book that I plan to read for Summerween is The Bone Garden. I actually don't even know too much about this book. I don't know where I got this book from or why I got this book, but I know it's a middle grade and it deals with a graveyard and ghosts, so I'm counting it as like a paranormal-y book. I just know from the synopsis that one of the main characters is actually created from like bone ash, but now her creator is threatening to like wipe her of existence, and she doesn't want that, so we follow her existence in the Bone Garden, or like trying to reclaim her life from I don't know the Bone Garden. That's not a good synopsis, I know, but something I really appreciate when reading middle grade is that there's like this underlying message, this very endearing feeling where I'm learning something, where I'm coming to grip with some of like the basic things that we should appreciate in life. So that's the vibe that I'm feeling from the Bone Garden, so I'm excited to just read it, enjoy it as it is, and not know too much about it. And the last book that I have on my TBR for Summerween is actually Hide and Seeker. Again, this is another book that I don't know too much about, but I did read a lot of Amazon reviews, so I do that in my pastime, and I've heard nothing but great things about this book. It's super scary, but it's super engaging, and I'm all here for it. I haven't read a book that kind of like scared me like that, so I'm definitely interested and definitely excited. I mean, look at the cover. It's so freaking stunning and captivating, and I just know the writing is gonna be amazing because everyone else is saying it's amazing, so I'm gonna say it's amazing too. Needless to say, a scary twist on Hide and Seek definitely sounds like a banger, so I'm super excited and so glad that Summerween is happening so that I can branch out and read books like that in the middle of summer. So thanks, Liv and Gabby. All right, the next 3 books that I want to share with you all on my July TBR are actually books that I'm gonna be picking on my Patreon to see which one we're gonna be buddy reading. So if you're interested to also participate in picking the Patreon buddy read of the month, go ahead and click the link down below. But the 3 options are Vicious by V.E. Schwab, which is another book that I've been wanting to read forever. Mel read it and loved it, Jaleesa's reading it and currently loving it, and so I just feel like it would be right if I read it as well. If it's not picked as a Patreon buddy read of the month, I may just also just read it myself because I am too freaking excited. However, my lineup to choose which book is still hard because the other options are Ace of Spades, which is another book that came out that I've been wanting to read. I heard great things about it. Kristin said she really liked it, so also an option that could be featured. I keep seeing everyone talk about it on Bookstagram, so I really hope I read this as well. But again, it's ultimately up to y'all to decide. And this last book, y'all know I have been wanting to read for the longest time as well, and that is Witches Steeped in Gold. Y'all, I know this lineup is so stinking hard to choose from, which is why I'm making y'all choose for me. Thank you very much in advance, because I could not choose between these three. So I'm really excited to see what you all choose. If you're not on Patreon and you don't plan to join the Patreon, still leave a comment down below and tell me which one of these books you would want to read, because I honestly could not choose. Honestly, I think this may be my favorite TBR that I've ever filmed or created because it has little bits of everything that I love. There are books where I'm participating in different readathons, different buddy reads, and I'm just so excited for what July has in store for all of us. I hope you are all excited for your reads in July, and I just hope that you all are having a safe and amazing start to your summer. But those are all the books that I plan to read in July on my July TBR list, and I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to give me a like, share, and comment while you're down there. And until next time, everyone, bye.